Hello, everyone. The purpose of this video is to show you how to cite our class text. It's Great to Suck at Something by Karen Rinaldi in MLA in your works cited page. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and you should be able to see this now. Okay, so you can come back to the slideshow as I make additional videos on how to quote and paraphrase as well in MLA for the purposes of your journal responses in this class. But today's video is just focused on our first extra little task for our journal responses, and that is citing your book in MLA. Okay, so there's something when we cite works called a works cited page. And that is the page at the end of your journal response, at the end of any paper you write, that tells the reader where you got some of the information that you're talking about in the actual body of the paper, or in this case, your journal response, right? So here we have our book. This is a picture of Karen Rinaldi, and she's saying, hey, give me credit, because we want to give credit to the person that we're quoting or getting ideas from, right? If we wrote something and we had an original idea or a quote that people really liked and they wanted to reuse, we'd all want to get credit for it, right? So this is our way of giving Rinaldi credit for the work that she did and the writing that she did to create this book. Okay, so when you go to write your journal response, at the end of it, you're going to want to include a page called the works cited, and the works cited in MLA has a very specific format that we are going to follow, and I'm going to walk you through here. So the format is this little line that just popped up, and what it's telling me is to list the last name of the author, then put a comma, then put the first name, then the title of the book in italics, then a period, then the publisher who was published by, comma, and then the publication year, okay? So it's very specific. And in other classes, you might run into different types of citation styles or different ways of saying to your reader, this is where I got information from. For our class, it's just MLA, okay? So let me take you through our example with our book. So in order to give credit to Rinaldi for talking about her book in my journal response, I'm going to do the following. On my works cited page at the end, I'm going to put Rinaldi, comma, Karen, her first name, period. Then I'm going to write, it's great to suck at something in italics with a period. And my book was published by Atria Books, which I found on just one of the first few pages of the actual physical copy of the book. Or if you have a digital copy or Audible copy, you can also find the publisher on there. So what I'm talking about, I have the physical copy here, okay? If I open it up, at the bottom of the first page, it says Atria Books. That's the publisher. And the year of publication is also there. It says 2019. And then I put a period. Okay, so where does this go? This goes on your works cited page, like I said. That is a separate page at the end of your document titled Works Cited that's centered. And then you put this exact citation right below it, just like this. Okay? So any text that you would reference in your actual paper, you would put in your works cited page. For your journal responses, that is just this book, okay? You shouldn't be looking at other sources for this. It's just this book. Goes at the end, like I said, and you're going to use only this format provided, okay? I don't recommend using any kind of citation machine because I haven't seen one get it completely right yet, okay? So we're going to practice this. It's pretty easy, and once you do it once, I have a secret. You can copy and paste it for your remaining journal responses, okay? So you just got to get it down the one time, and that's the gist of it. Now, once we have our works cited page, I want to point something out to you. The reason why the last name here goes first is because this becomes a way for the reader to find the rest of the information about the book. So not only is there a works cited page, but there's also something called in-text citations. In-text citations are a way for you to tell your reader that in this sentence, I got information from this particular author, okay? So if you have a sentence with a quote, or you have a sentence where you're paraphrasing or summarizing something that Rinaldi wrote, you would still put her name in what's called an in-text citation at the end of that sentence to say, hey, I got this information from Rinaldi. And then you wouldn't put any of the other information, like you wouldn't have to say, it's great to suck at something or Atria Books in the actual body of your paper. You save that for the works cited. You just use her last name for that in-text citation so that I can find it when I see Rinaldi in your in-text citation. I can say, where is that? And I can go to your works cited and find the rest of the information here about what book it was from and what publisher and what year, etc. Okay. So you might be thinking, what is an in-text citation? How do I do that? And I want to say clearly, you don't have to do in-text citations for your initial journal responses. Okay, you're just citing the book at the end like this. But in case you want to try it, I did want to just show you quickly what it is. Okay, so how to cite a book in an in-text MLA format. All right, so when you have a reference to any text, like our book, in the body of your paper, you need an in-text citation, okay? And we'll practice this in the coming weeks too. In-text citations use that first part of the works cited page, which is usually the author, plus the page number you got the information from. Okay, so here's my works cited page. I have Rinaldi sort of circled there. And then if I have a quote I want to use from page 2, I note what page it is, okay? And that's how I know what information to include in my in-text citation. And this looks something like this. So I've chosen a quote here that says, willingness to start something new. And I folded it into my own sentence. And I said, when I read that to suck at something, you have to have a willingness to start something new. It reminded me of my cousin who just started her own business. Okay, so I can see here is my in-text citation, right? I have the last name and the page number I got the quote from, and it goes at the end of that sentence in parentheses before the period. Okay, so I'm citing this quote. I'm saying I didn't come up with these words. Rinaldi did. So let me give her credit. Okay, so whenever you have a quote or information from the book, you want to cite it at the end of that sentence. It's always the last name plus the page number, and it goes inside the period. Okay, so again, for this week, all that you're doing is citing your book in the works cited page at the end. And you can try these in-text citations if you want to. Those are coming in the coming weeks, okay? So I just wanted to explain the overview for you here. Go ahead and try out citing your book in your works cited page, and I look forward to seeing you online. Take care.